What's good, peeps? Thank you, as always, for passing by the channel. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, as I expect you to do for this man. G-Man is in the building all the way here from Ireland. Guys, you know his channel is flying at the moment, but we need it to fly just a bit more, please. So the link to his channel is in the description. Go over there, press that subscribe button, because we want those subscribers to fly. Thank you so much for passing by,
mate.
By the way.
Anytime, pleasure.
It's been a while. It's been a while. We haven't done
too
one.
long. People keep asking me when am I going on again.
Yeah. The fans want you on. They want you here permanently. Obviously, they don't like me when I do it by myself.
No, they do. But they like the chemistry.
They do like the chemistry. What are you doing in London? I'm
over here at the Zhilei Zhang fight. I've been at the press conference today, and I've seen some interesting things. Okay. You know, going into this fight, I was thinking revenge for Joe Joyce, but I didn't. This isn't even the weigh-in yet. But what I saw in terms of size, I don't know. I'm thinking, one, what did you do in camp?
Yeah.
And B, did you spend it in Five Guys?
Okay, this is interesting. You talk about the size straight away, and G-Man was talking about the fact that he's here. He went to the press conference today as well. We'll talk about that in a second. But when you say the size, a lot of people have said that he needs to play the size game, that he came in undersized for the first fight. Has he gone over what he should have done then? Because he's been heavy before. I mean, what was he against Zhang the first time around? 250?
He was about 250. But 250? Here's the thing, right? When he fought Wallish back a couple of years ago, he was overweight. He said he didn't do much during lockdown. Lost all that weight for Dubois. Looked perfect.
Looked great.
Looked great in that
Physically,
fight.
it's amazing.
Right?
So imposing.
So in this fight, you know, he wasn't overweight in the Joseph Parker fight. He was his normal size, lost a bit of weight, and now people are saying that that's the reason. I don't necessarily think it is. And Joe Joyce had all of his clothes on. He had a tracksuit on. And this is the first time I've seen Joe Joyce in person a couple of times. And he's a big guy. He's a massive guy. This is the first time I looked at his midriff and was like, there's a little gut there. How much? I'm not being funny. I'm thinking 280.
280.
I'm not even being funny. I'm thinking 280. And if that is the case...
Yeah, bear in mind he was 250 last time. So 280 is 30 pounds. That's basically 2 stone. That's too big.
Way too big.
That's too big. Yeah, it's too
His
big.
feet are quick enough, but you put an extra 2 stone on. Those feet
I don't care who you are. If you put an extra 2 stone on anybody, those feet will slow down. I don't care. You can be a prime athlete as much as you want. You can be an NFL star. 2 stone extra around your midriff area just is too much.
It seems to me a heavyweight, they always kind of... There's never in the middle. It's either I was too light, now I got to be too heavy. There's no kind of, all right, I was too light, maybe I'll just go a little bit heavier and see how it goes. It's always one extreme to another. Yeah.
I do wonder if he's just mentally been affected by how big Zhang was. Like, Zhang was so big, and I just wonder if he's tried to play the big game and say, okay, I was getting pushed back, and he was at some stage in that fight getting pushed back by Zhang. Maybe he's thinking, okay, forget the moving, which he's good at, which I don't know why he's not sticking to that. We're going to try and have this one-on-one battle to see who can push who back. And I've got to be 2 stone bigger to do that.
I think that the main thing is, right, and he even said this himself when he was asked, that he let what people were saying get to his head. They were saying he's the Terminator, he's the Juggernaut, he's got the iron chin. And he said it got in on him a bit, where he thought, I can take anything that they throw at me. And he went in there with someone who was just as big as him, just as strong, and hits very hard.
Yeah. And
I think he was shocked. And he even said it himself, he's going into this fight with a different mindset, in a sense of, all right, this guy is strong, he hits very hard. I don't need to just match it. I can match him for strength, but I need to be careful. I need to move my head. And Zhang even said, I'm targeting that eye.
Yeah, as he should.
He should.
Look, Zhang, I think, and I've been disrespectful towards Zhang as well. It isn't just a case of Zhang was big. Zhang is a very good southpaw. Zhang, as we know, has Olympic pedigree. He's got a good amateur record as well. He's got a good trainer. Zhang's a good boxer. Like, I watched that fight back, and it wasn't just sort of right and left. It wasn't just ones and twos. It was throwing combinations.
No,
he started to slow down a little bit. Could that be a case of he took his foot off the pedal a little bit? Maybe. But I think Zhang's a good boxer here as well. So he can punch. He's big, and he's got boxing ability. That's a problem.
Here's the thing as well, right? The team Joyce, from what I gathered today, they were really, you know, basing this fight on what they're saying. Like, the fight was stopped in the 6th round, the last fight. If it had carried on, we'd have outworked them. We were throwing loads of punches.
That's the narrative, isn't it?
That's the narrative, right? And, you know, I could say, well, Joe Joyce has a good engine, but you took on 2 stone. How good's your engine going to be then? You know, you're saying, well, I'm going to outwork him. Well, it's like, that's easier said than done. But let's say you are 2 stone heavier. How easy is it going to be to outwork someone carrying an extra 2 stone?
Yeah.
It's not easy. You give someone 2 bags of potatoes, they're going to slow down. Doesn't matter how fit they are.
Yeah, I watched a couple of your videos talking about this fight, and you, correct me if I'm wrong, you've leaned towards Joe Joyce. It sounds, though, after going to this press conference and seeing Joe Joyce's extra weight, that you seem to be leaning towards Zhang now.
I'm in two minds. I was leaning heavily towards Joe Joyce.
Why?
Winning
Why?
this.
Why were we all doing that? I've done that. I've done videos saying repeat or revenge. Oh, revenge. And I'm like, why have I discounted Zhang that much? I don't understand why I've done this. This is the Zhang that beat Hrgovic.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Zhang that beat Joyce first time round. Why have we all just all of a sudden switched to Joyce now?
I think we just assumed that Joyce can add more to his game. And maybe that's wrong to think that Zhang can't.
Yeah.
I'm sure he can. But interesting, Team Zhang said that, and here's the funny thing, I've never seen the scorecards for that fight. I don't think anyone has. But Team Zhang said that Joe Joyce was ahead on at least one of the scorecards.
That's
which
crazy.
is crazy. That's from their
That's
team. They've said it even
crazy.
today at the press conference. They said that they knew Joe Joyce was ahead on at least one of the scorecards.
How is that even possible? How is that possible?
And that's what they were saying. They're saying, we're not going for points. We're going for a knockout. We're not leaving it in no one's hands. Because they know, hang on a sec, we were winning that fight comfy and one judge had Joyce ahead. No.
Can I ask you something crazy? I don't know if you saw my video the other day when I think I said if Zhang were to win again, for me, again, I know the record books don't state this, but for me it would be Hrgovic, Joyce back to back. And bear in mind the hype around Joyce going into the first fight. I said, is that enough for Zhang to have an argument to break into the top four?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Especially considering the fact that Hrgovic was so highly touted. I mean, before the Zhang fight,
Oh my
everyone, we were saying the boogeyman of the division.
He is basically
Zhang went in.
He has wrecked two hype trains,
Literally.
back to back, which is insane when you think about it.
I mean,
insane. No one wanted to fight Hrgovic.
No one wanted to fight her.
And no one wanted to fight Joyce.
The boogeyman. You had Michael Hunter calling everyone out. Hrgovic, nah.
Yeah.
Joe Parker, everyone. Zhang goes in, says, I'll fight him.
Yeah.
And arguably beat him. And now Hrgovic, he looked even worse in his last fight against MC McKean.
He did, yeah. So there's an argument, right, isn't there?
There is.
I think that it is.
And back-to-back wins, like, you know, one thing you can't, he'll say he'll have earned his crack at the world title. Definitely. There's no argument about that. I mean, he should have had a crack at the IBF against Hrgovic. Obviously, many people feel he should have won it. He's beat Joe Joyce, and if he beats him again, he beat him twice. There's no dispute, and he deserves a shot.
There's no disputing at all. It should be a world title next, or a very, very big fight, regardless of who it is in the division. In terms of Joe Joyce last time round, I think the easy thing that we think he can correct is the fact that he couldn't move his head and get away from that southpaw left. I mean, Joyce has never really moved his head. He's moved his feet, but he's never really moved his head. Surely, though, that's something they can correct. I mean, surely you bring in lighter guys in sparring, some cruiserweights, some light heavyweights, and surely you just play the fast game here. Move your head, dude.
Here's the thing, though. Joe Joyce has a tendency, if you ever watch him, to move to his right, which is fine against an orthodox fighter.
It's
you're moving away.
fantastic
It's
against
great
the
because you're
orthodox
moving away from the right hand. It's grand. You're kind of, imagine against Wilder, you're negating the right hand.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Against Southpaw, they're loving that.
You're going straight into their danger
straight
hand.
into that. And old habits die hard. He's been doing that for how long? Years. He's 38 years old, lest we forget. Zhang is 40, but old habits die hard. I don't know how you're going to... That's in his game. I don't know how Ishmael Saleh is going to get rid of that.
Yeah. And even if he were to get rid of it, say... My thing with Joe Joyce, and Malik Scott was on TalkSport, and he mentioned this today on TalkSport, and he was like, when you dine out on having this great chin, and Joe Joyce is dined out on it, the Juggernaut, the Terminator, you can't stop him.
He's had extras on it.
The fact that that chin has now been dented, once it's dented, it's dented. As far as I'm concerned, once people know they can hurt you, they can hurt you. I think Carl Froch had it with Jermaine Taylor. Then all of a sudden, oh my God, Carl Froch can be hurt. What? Jesus Christ.
And the fighter knows it as well.
The fighter knows it. Joe Joyce knows that Zhang can hurt him. Zhang knows I can hurt him. So as much as I was saying revenge, as I'm talking with you, I'm like, 1 second, I think Zhang might do this again.
And the fact that he looked really heavy.
How did Zhang look?
Zhang looked fine. He actually looked reasonably good shape. You know, again,
he's quite thick, isn't he? Just really solid and thick.
He looks like someone who'd have a good chin. Yeah. That's the best way. You know, someone, they just look big. Everything about them is very thick. His head's massive. His head is massive. He looks like someone who'll take a great shot. Yeah. Joe Joyce, I've seen him in person several times, and he's a big unit, but bigger this time. And I don't know if bigger is better. Yeah. Maybe it is better, but maybe too big.
Have they made a mistake in taking that rematch? Did you have
before
to?
A fall?
Did you have to?
Pride come before a fall.
Yeah.
I suppose he's 38 years old, though.
What can
you
you
have
do?
To remember that. And this is his only real crack at getting a world title fight.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Let's play what ifs. What happens if Joe Joyce loses?
That's it.
Really?
That's what Zhilei Zhang said at the press conference, that he is here for one reason, to end Joe Joyce's career.
I love Zhang.
That's what he said. Now, not obviously his translator said it, but we'll take his word for him.
Yeah, it has a different kind of impact when it goes for a translator. Okay, so if Joe Joyce loses, that could be that. Although this is the heavyweight division,
is the heavyweight
there's so many fights out there for him. And then let's be honest, all the top guys are in their mid to late 30s. So
Yeah.
he can fight anyone. If Zhang wins,
They're going to push for Usyk, I reckon.
Yeah.
I reckon the fact that he's still in a deal with Queensberry, Frank Warren will be looking and saying, do you know what? We've got a good relationship with the WBO. Alexander Usyk ain't getting any younger. Hell, even if Zhilei Zhang doesn't win, it's more miles on the clock.
if you're Usyk, who do you fight, Hrgovic or Zhang?
That's a good question.
That's a good one.
I would give Usyk. I pick Usyk over both.
Yeah.
But I would
I'd
be
give
more
Usyk-
wary about Zhang.
Yeah, much.
I would be more wary
I'd
of
give
him.
yeah, because Usyk can hit him, but at any time you feel like Zhang could get to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas Hrgovic, I just feel like Usyk would just, and Hrgovic isn't as big as I thought as well. He isn't as physically imposing. I think
No.
Usyk would just box rings around
He's
him.
looked so disinterested.
He's done.
This is a guy who's not even had a punishing, he just looks disinterested.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it would be hard to get worse than how he looked against Zhilei Zhang, but he proved me,
Yeah,
he proved me
and
wrong.
With all due respect, Zhang is not Dempsey McKean. I mean, Zhang's a great top 10 heavyweight.
10.
Dempsey McKean, I didn't have in my top 25, 30.
No,
and
was
he was
just
struggling
there.
against Dempsey McQueen. Quick word, Anthony Yarde wasn't at the press conference.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Which is strange. Obviously, Anthony Yarde is supposed to be fighting on this card on the weekend. As it stands right now, and this is crazy, bear in mind, we're filming this on Thursday evening. As it stands right now, Anthony Yarde, who's come off a world title crack against Artur Beterbiev, his opponent is TBC, which is to be confirmed. That's a disgrace. I'm sorry.
That's just not good enough.
No.
I actually was worried. So I interviewed Dev Sani and I asked Dev, I said, Dev, Anthony Yarde in the email was advertised for this event. What happened? And he goes, nothing to worry about. He'll be at the weigh-in tomorrow. We've no opponent. It's like, at that Anthony Yarde, someone of his caliber, at this stage, that's not good enough. And a day's notice, who is it going to be?
Yeah,
realistically,
who are you really going to fight? Is he going to fight a blown up middleweight? He's going to fight no one, really.
What's the point? If you're going in there with someone who is, take 3-33, what is the point?
Yeah,
You know,
I
at this
actually
stage.
don't like. I mean, obviously, there's been a lot of going on behind the scenes. You guys, I don't know if you guys know or don't know, but his opponent is fighting Ben Whittaker next. So there's two questions here. A, does that mean Boxer have paid more to the opponent than Queensberry were going to pay to get Ben Whittaker to fight him? And why on earth is he fighting an opponent that Ben Whittaker's fighting?
I know. And
Like Anthony Yarde is a world title challenger.
apparently the Ben Whittaker fight is going to be for the English title. So you've come from fighting for a world title to potentially fighting a guy who's about to challenge for an English title.
I don't understand
That
this
doesn't make
trajectory.
any
I don't
sense.
quite get it.
That's
Did
not
this
even-
after the Kovalev fight. He went and fought a guy in Spain who had like 40 defeats. You remember that?
It was a middleweight.
Yeah. I
mean,
don't quite
it's
get
bizarre. It's like I can understand going maybe down from world to European. English. What?
it. Strange. I would rather do what Dan Aziz has done, which is solid like that,
Yep.
than what Yarde did, which is
Gradually.
that boom, 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 boom. Don't quite get it.
Well, Dan Aziz proved at every stage he's good enough for that level, and he got better as time went on, to the point where we've got a really good fighter with us now.
Great
Whereas
fighter.
with Yarde, it's like, you look good against these journeymen, we take you to world level, and you're missing that experience.
So where are you?
Where are you?
I don't know where you are. Are you top European? Are you fringe world? Are you world? I have no idea where Yarde is. All right, quickly before we wrap, because this is live now. This is going on camera. Who wins? Zhang Joyce. And rounds. I want rounds and who wins.
I have to change my prediction. Zhang, mid-round stoppage. I have to. I have to. I have to do it.
All right, mid-round. So
Mid-rounds.
7-8. We can?
I'm going to go less than that. I'm going to go between 5 and 6. And actually, Team Zhang said 5th round.
All right. I made all those faces. I'm going for repeat as well. I'm going for repeat. And you know what? I'm going earlier, which is crazy. I know this is crazy, people. I think Zhang could get him out there before 5.
Eye as well.
The eye as well. The fact that chin has now been cracked. It's like an egg. Once it cracked, you can't put it back together. So I'm going for a Zhang win as well.
Can't wait to see what the weights are. That's going to be the main thing.
Yeah. 275. 275
Going
Joyce.
280.
280. That's crazy. Honestly, if he's that heavy, if you're 250 last time out and you've actually put on 30 pounds, there's a problem. Sack your nutritionist, sack your strength and conditioner, sack yourself. Sack yourself. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you so much for G-Man popping by. You guys know his channel, kicking ass right now. The link to his channel is in the description. Make sure you go over there. And please subscribe to his channel. He's doing great stuff. The numbers are growing, but
Nearly 13K.
We want more numbers. Nearly 13.
Nearly 13.
Well, then let's cheers to 13 because it's going to be 13 after
Lucky
this.
number 13.
Jeez.